everyone, so I'm going to be painting one of my book pages today with watercolor because the whole thing is in watercolor, and I'm just going to get started. So I'm not using the best paper because I can't order the paper I use. It's out of stock everywhere. I usually use Arch's Hot Press. This is like Canson XL watercolor paper, which is not the greatest, but I've got it to work for me. So I like to wet the area first and then put the colors on. This kind of prevents harsh lines if you wet the paper first. I definitely put too much water though, usually, so I have a color plan of this page. I'm not going to show a lot of pages, but this one, I decided I'd show it. It's a mouse getting a ride from a larger bird, because in my world there's no like predator-prey stuff. They kind of live in harmony. I think. I'm pretty sure. At least in this world, because the book is about backpack animals, if you don't know what it is. I also think it's cute when birds wear like little pilot goggles and hats. The goggles are gray. I have a bad habit of making too many things brown and then the whole thing just looks really muddy, and I'm like, why does this look muddy? And it's because everything is so warm, but not in a good way. I think this is a hawk, like the kind of hawks that live where I live. I'm just not a fan of this paper. It makes my life so much harder, but it's all I got right now. Like, it'd be fine if it was gouache, but just the way it dries with watercolor, it's so much more uneven. I find watercolor is such a trust the process medium because it can look so bad before it looks good. I'm trying to make the brown on the feathers not too close. Oh, did I talk about the book yet? So I'm making a book. I wanted it to be done by now, basically, but I have to give myself more time just because other stuff came up and I don't want to rush it, or I don't want it to be bad. I don't know if it's going to be actually published, though. It might just be like a printed booklet book. Like, I don't know if I'm going to get an ISBN number and all that. But maybe. I'm gonna ask my mentor about that, actually, because I don't know, like, really anything about ISBN numbers. Because I know you can buy one, but I don't know what that means. Like, it means it's published, but, like, do I want it to be? I do not know. I don't know if I'm gonna end up, like, liking the final product enough for that. I don't really know what it entails, so I have to look into that more. Some people have been asking me about this, and like, this is my first time doing something like this, so I can't really answer stuff that well. Another thing I do is after I paint the pages, I bring it into my iPad to clean up certain things and just get it like print ready. sort of like a digital traditional approach. Like I think of this as the underpainting, but I try to take it as far as I can. And then for digital, I just kind of bring it to the level I want it to be. Because everything is so warm in this, I wanted something to not be warm. So I made the chair here purple. I've been doing so much watercolor lately, it's easy to like start to kind of get lazy with it, and I'm trying to not do that. Trying not to rush, even though there's a lot of pages I still have to paint. Need a brighter pink for the tail. I always find it hard doing dark enough colors and saturated enough colors so everything ends up very mid-tony. And I try to like avoid that by actually, like I can already tell that's going to be too light. I need it dark. The ends of these brushes have already lost their shape and it's so hard to get accurate lines. I need good brushes. Anyone know any good watercolor brushes on Amazon that actually hold their point? That are available on the Canadian Amazon, preferably, because I can only order from there. Because I bought these because they had decent reviews, and it's already like doing that. It's probably my own fault, but like these are new. I hope these don't end up being too dark. It's either like way too dark, or when I try to make things dark enough, it's like that's too dark or that's way too light. It's never right. Try not to overdo it with the lines, because then it can just make everything really stiff, but it can add some clarity to places. I like to use really bright outlines sometimes. Just makes it pop. Freshens it up a little bit in some way. It's very stressful trying to stay inside the lines. A way to get bad watercolor paper to work for you is when you lay down a color, use a big brush for it and then just leave it. Don't go back over, because it's much more prone to being patchy when you do that. I'm gonna paint this wing kind of orangey to start. Don't know if you can see this. I can't stop now. I think watercolor is kind of fast for me because it forces you to work fast. Because you can't just kind of stop in the middle of a wash, like you have to keep going. Because if you stop, you'll get streaks and lines and patchiness that you don't want. The background needs to be blue, so I'm gonna try to do that. Because it's the sky. We'll start here. It's a little too vibrant in some areas. Pencil can kind of help with that. Probably have to fix this on my iPad, like this area here and up here. It just got all blotchy. I don't like this paper. I just don't like when it looks like the background is overlapping the subject. I say I use watercolor, but it's really such a mixed media approach. I also filmed other footage of me doing a page of the backpacks. It's actually one of my favorite pages, just because I enjoyed the way it looked, and I don't think I need to do many corrections digitally, which is a good thing. I'm kind of going over the areas where the blue kind of looks like it's overlapping the bird and make sure it's not doing that, unless it looks cool, like a wispy sort of windy thing. I think I checked and I'm about halfway done painting this. I took a bit of a break from it, but now I'm back to doing pages more and more. I don't want to overwork this too much because I think it's almost done, like the head part of it. Filming a page makes me rush it less, but also like I'm not as like zoned in because I have to talk at the same time. Which is why I don't want to film a lot of the pages, and I also don't want to spoil too many things. Trying to get more of this orangey brown in there. So I've done all of the painting portion of it. The rest of it will be fixed up digitally, and I'll show you what that process looks like. I use my iPad, and I use different brush sets as well as my own custom brushes. I'll link the brush sets I bought in the description. They're like watercolor brushes, and they're the Max Pack ones, so they work really well with painting over traditional. I kind of see this painting as a underpainting, because doing the finishing touches and bringing everything together is so much faster digitally, and I want to work as fast as possible because I have a lot of pages to do, so I'll show you that process. What I like about this painting is the yellow beak and the purple, I don't even know what you call that, the thing that the mouse is sitting in, because they're complementary colors, and the blue background and the orangey feathers. It's like a very complementary color scheme. I also like to add lighting effects digitally with overlay layers, and I just like to add a lot of little textures and just really polish everything and bring it to more of a final state on the iPad. And I mentioned before that I filmed some other footage of me painting in details. It was a page where it shows a bunch of different backpacks all together, and I just liked the way that page looked. I just think the colors were very clean, and I actually did it in a not very messy way. Like this painting right now is kind of messy, but doing the digital part on top will definitely help. And I like to reference the color plan that I did, because it kind of helps me realize what I wanted to achieve, and if something looks off, I can look at the color plan and try to like bring back some of the original colors in case I went sort of like off of it too much, if I kind of like veered away from my original plan. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It's been a while since I posted. I kind of needed a break, but I hope I can keep posting consistently again and not take so much time off. I've never really taken a break on YouTube. I kind of took 2 this summer. I just needed to, and thank you for bearing with me. Make sure to check out my Patreon if you want to get monthly stickers and prints and collectible journal pages every single month. And you can see my sketchbook and behind the scenes stuff and early peeks at this book as well. And check out my store if you want pins, prints, and I have a mermaid print book up there as well. So I really hope you enjoyed this chatty painting video. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.